مشاهدين ساوث سودان ميديا في كل مكان، زي ما انتم سمعتوا برضو الكوادر بتاع مجتمع النوير بيتكلموا في قضايا عشان اصلاح بتاع المجتمع داخل القاهرة. فحاليا برضو عندنا الاستاذ مون جاكوب توت. استاذ مون جاكوب توت هو رئيس رابطة طلاب فنجاك الكبرى بالقاهرة. فاحنا هنستمع في رسالة اللي هو هيوصله للمجتمع النوير الكبرى برضو في القاهرة. تابعونا.
I would like to introduce my name first. I'm called Moon Jacob Tut, Greater Fngaak student chairman. It is a great pleasure for me to be here with South Sudan media. It is indeed a big credit for you for me to have a chance with you here today. In fact, I have some few points that I need to share with South Sudanese at large. In the name of Nuer student. As I introduce myself, I'm representative or chairman of Greater Fngaak. Nuer students were under what is called Nuer student associations in some years back. In some due points, they come to misunderstanding that when we were forming the association, it was non-partisan, so it was democrat, so in which they can practice the leadership in a way of transparency. In some points, the leadership of that duration mess up with the term. At the ending terms, then they were having that desire of continuing with the leadership, and the General Assembly of Nuer Students Associations called them to step down to transition the leadership in a free manner. That is the due points that bring the crisis or the misunderstanding among the Nuer students. As per the Nuer students decide to have a term of conference so that they can come and determine their way forward. So the former leader refused to have that chance of calling his students together in order for them to determine their way or their future ahead of their leadership. Then the student have that crisis. The student have that point of disagreements with the leaderships or with the former chairman. Then the student of the other sub-communities, as many South Sudanese know that Nuer composed of 4 sub-communities, e.g. Bantu, Fngaak, then Nasser, then Low Nuer. Then all those students, they call themselves together, taking the responsibility of stabilizing the situation of the students in the ground here in Arab Republic of Egypt. Then in their meetings, they agree that when the leader or when the leadership refused to transit the leadership to them in a free manner, and then they form what we call a steering committee for them to have a confident leadership. Then along with their meetings, they realize that most of the Nuer students, most of the Nuer sub-communities, they have the student associations. Then they propose that as all of us have these associations, then there's no point of topping the associations on the top of the another associations. Then they propose to become a union. When they propose to become a union, then they take 3 months organizing their constitutional rights. Then they draft everything, and then they review it. When they see it is a conference that can lead them, then they come to select their leader. Then they make a process of elections. That is the point that they come up with their electing of their elected their presidents called for Putin here in Arab Republic of Egypt. Then as students of particularly in Fngaak Nuer, then we took a conference among ourselves, asking ourselves, because each and every one of us has a different opinions, we all agreed upon that our support is legitimate of Nuer historical background, then we stand for NSU at the moment. That's why I'm here, and I'm coming to represent the voice of all the students of Greater Fngac, that we don't have any shaking waves here in the student situations. We are standing firm with the union, and this is our position. And my message to all Nuer students, not in particular in Arab Republic of Egypt, but in various parts of the world, as the students, we go through the historical backgrounds. Our historical background is very well clear as a Nuer. Still, I'm calling in those students who are still standing with NSA, that they have to join the union, because union is for all of us. As we all know that they are all composed of the 4 sub-Nuer communities. NSA, as you all know, first it was not bad. It was its mandate to unite all Nuer students together. But as the time goes, we realize that it is for particular people, like it's for Nasser only, because none of the students from Fngac is there, none from Bantu, none from Low Nuer. It is only for those of Nasser. So we don't have that point of dividing ourselves into subsections. Our power is our togetherness. So that's my message. Let's embrace peace together as students of Nuer, so that we can face, or we can have that point of building the nation together, because students are the future of the country. From there, I would like to thank once again the South Sudan media for taking us here to highlight those who doesn't know the history of what divided the students here in Arab Republic. I can term that one as some individual interest. And as we are now educating ourselves, or as now we are in the study, we need to build a coexisted South Sudan together. Not that I should be recognized as a son of Fngac alone. That cannot work. So for those who are here in Egypt, let's join our hand together. Those who are various parts of the world, let's do the same. Let's have that coexistence as the students. This is the point that we should have. This is the point that we have a ladder of climbing upwards to unite our South Sudanese together. I would like to also extend my sincere thanks to Nuer community, which is N4, because of standing firm with the decisions or with the opinion of the students, because historical cannot be erased at once. So thank you for seeing that ball point of supporting the students. We always be there, as we all know that we are coming from community. We will never branch away. So thank you from these points, and then I will say thank you, South Sudanese, and we shall be sharing might together. Thank you very much.